Summer nights are supposed to feel safe. But what if I told you some nights never end the same way they start? Behind every locked door, behind every quiet night, someone might already be watching you. They thought it was just another summer vacation until they realized something was terribly wrong. 5 stories, all true, all from this summer, and all terrifying enough to keep you awake tonight. The scariest part isn't that these stories happened. It's that they could happen to you too. Sometimes the most ordinary places hide the darkest secrets. And tonight, you'll hear them all. The night was quiet. Too quiet. Rain tapped against the windows, the wind howled through the trees. And somewhere in the distance, footsteps echoed. 5 terrifying true stories from this summer. Stories of people just like you on vacation at home or simply walking down the street who suddenly found themselves trapped in moments darker than their worst nightmares. These are the stories you were never meant to hear. And once you do, you'll never look at a summer night the same way again. Summer nights are supposed to be carefree, warm, long evenings, friends, laughter. But sometimes, the nights bring more than just memories. Tonight, I'm going to share 5 true horror stories from this summer, each one stranger and scarier than the last. From silent guests to shadows in the woods, these are real events that will make you think twice before stepping out at night. So make sure your lights are on and your doors are locked, because once you hear these stories, you'll never look at summer the same way again. Story 1. The Silent Guest. A young woman named Sarah rented an Airbnb for a weekend getaway in a small town. The listing was perfect, cozy, quiet, and just a few blocks from the lake. On the first night, she unpacked, made some tea, and settled in. Everything seemed normal until she heard a door creak in the middle of the night. She froze. The house was supposed to be empty, but then soft footsteps. Not outside. Inside. She checked every room. The doors were locked. The windows were closed. No one was there. By morning, Sarah found a note slipped under the bedroom door. "I see you." She immediately left and reported it. Police never found anyone. But the host later admitted someone had stayed in the house previously, someone obsessed with past guests. Story 2. Apartment Above. Jason, a college student, moved into a small apartment for the summer. Everything seemed fine until he started hearing noises from the unit above. At first, he thought it was normal. Footsteps, doors closing. But then it got stranger. The noises always happened after midnight. And sometimes he heard whispering, calling his name. One night, he placed his phone near the ceiling and recorded the sounds. When he played it back, he heard a soft, deliberate tapping along with a faint voice. "I'm watching you." He confronted the landlord, who insisted the apartment above had been empty for months. Jason never stayed there the entire summer without checking the ceiling at night. Story 3. Campfire Shadow. A group of friends went camping near a lake in northern Michigan. They spent the evening laughing around a campfire, roasting marshmallows. Around midnight, they noticed a shadowy figure moving silently between the trees. At first, they thought it was an animal, but the figure didn't move like an animal. It stood upright, and its head seemed to turn as if tracking their movements. When they tried to approach, it vanished into the darkness. The next morning, they found footprints leading from the water's edge straight to the tree line, then disappearing, as if the person or creature had melted into the forest. Story 4. The Roadside Stop. Emma and her brother were driving late at night through rural Pennsylvania. Their car suddenly broke down on an empty highway. As they tried to call for help, a man appeared at the edge of the road. At first, they were relieved until they realized he wasn't moving normally. He walked sideways, slowly, almost floating. And every time they tried to lock the doors, the car windows fogged up, and his reflection appeared inside the car, even though he was standing outside. They didn't sleep that night. When morning came, they found tire tracks circling their car. But no man. Story 5. The Final Night. A family rented a vacation home for their summer break in a small lake town. The house was beautiful, but the youngest daughter, Lily, kept mentioning a room that wasn't on the map. At first, they ignored it, but on the last night, Lily's parents went looking for her after she screamed. They found her standing in front of a small, hidden door behind the pantry. The door opened into a tiny, cold room with mirrors on every wall, reflections, but no one inside. As they reached for her, Lily pointed to one of the mirrors, whispering, "He's behind me." When they turned, there was nothing. But the reflection in the mirror showed a man standing quietly, watching them, smiling. These were 5 true horror stories from this summer, stories that remind us that the world isn't always safe, even during the warmest, brightest days. If you enjoyed these stories, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling true stories. And remember, sometimes the scariest things happen when you least expect them.